From feeling their bodies being thrown across the room to waking up with no consciousness of the incident, these survivors have all experienced the devastating effects of lightning strikes. So join us as we count down these 10 incredible individuals and learn about their journeys to recovery. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. 10. Winston Kemp. Winston Kemp is a true survivor, having been struck by lightning and walking away as if nothing had happened. It all began on a seemingly normal day when Winston was out for a walk, but as fate would have it, a lightning bolt struck the ground near him and rebounded, impacting him directly. At first, Winston didn't even realize that he had been hit, but as the pain in his arm began to set in, it soon became clear that he had been struck by the powerful force of nature. Despite the initial shock and pain, Winston was determined to heal and recover. As his injuries began to heal, a unique and beautiful transformation took place. The blisters that had formed on his arm eventually turned into fractal patterns, much like a tattoo, a stunning reminder of the incredible experience he had been through. To Winston, it was a symbol of his strength and resilience, a testament to the fact that he had not only survived but thrived in the face of adversity. 9. Britney Wehrle. In 2011, Britney Wehrle, an 11-year-old girl, was struck by a bolt of lightning while walking with a friend in the streets of Washington, Pennsylvania. Despite the clear and sunny skies, a storm was brewing a few miles away and a bolt of lightning found its way to Britney. It is not uncommon for people to be struck by lightning even on seemingly clear days, as lightning can travel miles before impacting the ground or an unfortunate person. Britney didn't realize she had been struck until she struggled to open the door to her home and couldn't move her left arm. She then noticed a burn mark on her wrist and shoulder. After being rushed to the hospital, doctors discovered that the bolt had entered her body through her shoulder and exited through her wrist, breaking her arm in the process. Fortunately, the shock did not reach her heart and she was able to recover gradually. 8. Melvin Roberts. Melvin Roberts is a man who has survived an incredible 11 lightning strikes. The odds of a normal person being struck by lightning in a year are 1 in 700,000, making Roberts' experience truly extraordinary. Although living in a specific area, such as Seneca, South Carolina, where the likelihood of getting struck is higher than other places can factor into the odds, it is still an extremely rare occurrence. Some of Roberts' strikes were unexpected, such as when he was mowing his neighbor's grass on a sunny day, and even twice while operating a bulldozer. His wife claims to have witnessed all of the strikes, but unfortunately, the Guinness World Records will not recognize Roberts due to lack of evidence. Despite this, Roberts is truly remarkable to have survived such a dangerous and unpredictable force of nature. 7. Alice. Alice, a 12-year-old girl from Sweden, had a brush with death that she will never forget. In 2011, she was taking a shower in her home when lightning struck her twice concurrently. After a brief interval, her family heard her scream twice. Upon rushing to the bathroom, they discovered her clutching onto the metallic shower head and still screaming. It was later revealed that the electrical charge had surged through the plumbing and traveled through the pipes, ultimately hitting Alice. Despite being all wet and barefooted, fortunately, her injuries were not life-threatening. Alice's story is a reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous lightning can be. It also highlights the importance of being aware of the potential hazards in our homes, such as metal pipes, and taking precautions to avoid them. In Alice's case, the metal shower head ended up being a lifesaver as it helped to dissipate the electrical charge and minimized her injuries. 6. Dylan Nicholas. If anyone can attest to the adage "the lightning never strikes twice," then know Dylan Nicholas, a 21-year-old man, was going about his day at work when he was suddenly struck by a bolt of lightning. He was sitting against a garage door, having lunch and minding his own business when a lightning bolt decided to make a direct hit on him. The impact was so severe that Dylan was thrown to the ground, lying there in pain and numbness. His coworkers thought he was having a heart attack and quickly rushed him to the hospital. When they arrived, the doctors were amazed to find that Dylan had only suffered minor injuries. He complained of pain and numbness, but he was conscious and alert. After conducting a thorough examination, the doctors realized that the garage door had taken the brunt of the lightning strike, shielding Dylan from the full force of the impact. The garage door had absorbed most of the energy, leaving Dylan with only minor injuries. 5. Jaime Santana. Horse riding in the woods seemed like a peaceful and enjoyable activity for Jaime Santana, but in April 2016, his peaceful ride took a turn for the worst when a storm rolled in. Jaime and his brother-in-law tried to make their way out of the woods, but it was too late. Jaime was struck by lightning, along with his horse. Unfortunately, the horse did not survive the impact, but Jaime was able to pull through. He spent 4 months in hospital recovering from his injuries and continues to recover to this day. Despite the tragic loss of his horse, Jaime is grateful for a second chance at life and is a reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. 4. Jim Lamey. In 2009, a man from Pennsylvania had a close brush with death when he was struck by lightning while showering in his own home. The bolt of lightning, which shook the entire house, connected with the man's water pipes, sending an electrical current through his body. The strike threw him out of the tub and knocked him unconscious, but luckily his son was nearby to save him from drowning. Years later, in 2015, the same man had a similar close call when he was struck by lightning again, this time while doing the dishes. The strike causes him to be scattered with stomach and shoulder pain and unsure of how he got there. Despite these terrifying experiences, the man was lucky to have survived both lightning strikes with no lasting injuries, other than the scars from the burns caused by the strikes. 3. Alexander Mandon. It's not uncommon for someone to survive being struck by lightning once, let alone 4 times, but that's exactly what happened to Alexander Mandon. Despite serving in the Colombian army for 3 of those strikes, he was ultimately discharged. But even after leaving the military, he wasn't safe from the dangerous phenomenon. In 2013, he was struck for a 4th time. The town doctor prescribed an unusual cure for Mandon's 4th strike. He ordered that Mandon be buried with his head sticking out of the ground for 2 hours so that the earth could absorb the electricity running through his body. However, the first time the cure was administered, there was a mix-up and Mandon was buried lying down instead of upright. It's unclear if he received any compensation for the mistake, but one thing is for sure, Mandon's survival story is truly remarkable. 2. Michael Cannon. At 16 years old, Michael Cannon was putting up a fence with his father when lightning struck it about 1 kilometer away. The lightning traveled down the fence and hit him, leaving him with a lasting memory of the ball of lightning coming towards him. It wasn't until his early 20s that lightning struck him again, this time while he was working under a truck. The lightning traveled along the dampness of the ground to reach him, causing severe burns and injuries. But Michael's luck with lightning didn't end there, as the 3rd strike occurred while he was inspecting an old car in a barn at a friend's house. The lightning hit him in his hands, cinched off his hair on his knuckles, and knocked him unconscious. Despite being struck 3 times, Michael has miraculously survived each incident. He is one of the few people who have been struck multiple times and lived to tell the tale. Michael's story is a testament to the power of survival in the human spirit. 1. Roy Sullivan. It is incredibly rare to be struck by lightning multiple times in a lifetime, but one man, known as the Human Conductor, experienced this phenomenon no less than 7 times. This individual, a U.S. park ranger in Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, had lightning seem to have a terrible attraction to him. In one instance, the park ranger was hit while in his truck, which acted like a Faraday's cage, diverting the electric charge to the ground. On another occasion, he was hit inside the station. He even claimed that the clouds seemed to follow him, and that was when he was hit for the 5th and 6th time. His last encounter was the most extraordinary when he was struck while fishing in a boat and had to fight off a bear who tried to steal his fish. Despite these terrifying experiences, he managed to survive each time and became known as a living testament to the power of survival and determination. Remember, lightning strikes can happen to anyone at any time, so always be aware of your surroundings and take appropriate precautions. Thanks for watching. Now check out this next top 10 video.